So the next humiliation ritual for Tony Ferguson is happening next, as he's going to be facing Sol Papi, also known as Nathaniel Bustamante. I don't know. I've never actually tried to pronounce Sol Papi's name before, but regardless, this is not going to go well for Tony Ferguson. And anyone who's convinced themselves it will, it's just pure delusion. I'm a big Tony fan. I was always, saying it's Tony time, Now I'm saying it's time, Tony, please, just for the love of God, hang up the gloves. And that doesn't mean Tony Ferguson to go take the gloves off and go BKFC. That's maybe the worst option you could do. But this is why this fight's not going to be competitive. Firstly, Tony Ferguson, let's just be matter of fact about it. He is washed. He is just incredibly washed. I mean, you can just go through his recent fights, where every fight, besides Michael Chiesa, he's taken an ungodly amount of damage. Justin Gaethje took so much damage 5 years ago. He should have probably retired after that fight, man. But he took so much damage, ends up getting TKO'd because he has a really weird reaction at the end of the fifth round where he's shaking his head. His body's giving out, but he doesn't mentally want to give up. And then people are going to say against Charles Oliveira, well, he didn't take any damage in that fight, but he almost got his arm broken. He got his arm dislocated, borderline. His arm, definitely that would be an issue from that. People are saying, oh, Beneil Dariush just laid on him, but he did get him in a really bad heel hook that re-injured his leg. That, when he got injured, when he was meant to fight Habib, I think the third time is when he tripped over the cables. Beneil Dariush re-aggravated that injury. Against Chandler, he did look good, but then he got front kick KO'd, and, that took his chin there. Against Nate Diaz, he was probably winning until he got caught in that guillotine choke. Got boxed up by King Green, took a lot of damage, then got choked out cold. Paddy dropped him a bunch. He's taken a lot of damage, and every fight, it's just more and more of him is getting destroyed. His speed is going. His chin is going. He's been hurt a bunch. His chin's not good now. He's older. He's slower. And the thing about Tony is when he was fighting at his peak, it wasn't because he was this technically great athlete where he can rely on the technique and the skills. He was always just an athletic freak. A lot of the things he did was just based because he was so athletic. He doesn't have that athleticism anymore. This is why Tony's gone on one of the worst losing streaks, from one of the best winning streaks to losing streaks, is because his style was relying on his athleticism, which doesn't exist anymore. He doesn't have the athleticism. He has the cardio, but he can't really utilize that cardio anymore, can he? Because he's just getting beaten up or chinned before he can utilize it. And in this fight, I believe the amount of rounds, let me just check so I know how many rounds this is. I think it should say how many rounds. It's 6 3-minute rounds. So, he's got 6 rounds, but I don't think that's going to matter. I think he's going to get chinned early by Sol Papi, man. As sad as this sounds, we all wanted Tony versus Habib for years. Now we're worried about Tony Ferguson versus Sol Papi. And the thing, I can't just talk about how bad Tony is. Sol Papi's really good. He is actually good as a boxer. I know he's got 2 losses against Slim and Anthony Taylor. The Anthony Taylor one was bullshit. That was a stupid, stupid fight. I don't know how they let Anthony Taylor get away with what he did in that fight, just clinching to a victory. It's very bad, but his boxing skills are actually very good. He can mix it up to the body very well. He's actually very slick. He is very slick. He's got a lot of good performances. I know these guys aren't the best, but Tony Ferguson isn't a boxer. He's never been a good technical boxer. He's always been, just an athletic freak, like I said. He's got some knockouts, yeah, don't get me wrong, but that's not his style. A lot of the times it was him getting submissions and jiu-jitsu. He's not just a pure boxer, a pure boxing style. This is more likely to get him a win because in MMA he just doesn't have the strength to stop takedowns now. But I don't think he has the chin to take punches anymore. And I think his defense is looking bad. He's been off for, when did he fight Chiesa? That would have been over a year ago. It's been literally a year. He's going to just, every time he fights, he's coming back a worse version of himself. He's 41 years of age. There's a 10-year difference. This just is a mismatch. Every fight with Tony Ferguson nowadays is a mismatch. But, if this was in MMA, I still think Sol Papi would probably just chin him, to be honest, because I don't think Tony can get takedowns anymore. He's just not strong anymore. He's lost a lot of testosterone. He's clearly just not as strong anymore as he's gotten older. I know people say about old man strength, but Tony has grandpa strength. He's got no strength anymore. And I know I don't like to shit on Tony Ferguson because I really like Tony, but it's time, Tony. Please, if you lose this, retire afterwards. We don't need to see you keep getting fucking destroyed every time. Like, I love Tony Ferguson, so this is why this pains me to make this video. But I think Sol Papi's going to get Tony Ferguson out of there in the first round. Against Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett almost had him out of there in the first round. Sol Papi's bigger. This is at 165 pounds. Sol Papi is he's a big dude. He had a few cruiserweight bouts when he was a bit chubby, but now he's like more in shape for a fight like this, and he should be a heavy favorite. Now, Tony's got the reach, but I don't think it's going to matter. I just think Sol Papi's going to be too slick. Tony's going to be too slow. I think the speed advantage that Sol Papi's going to have is crazy because he's very quick, he's very powerful, and Tony's just not a boxer. I'm going to go Sol Papi first round KO. I don't see this being very close. Like, I would have preferred, because I think Dylan Dennis is fighting Warren Spencer. Why didn't they do Tony Ferguson versus Warren Spencer in MMA? He could have actually won that. Why didn't they do Tony Ferguson versus Dylan Dennis? Like, why are they putting him in a boxing match? He's not somebody who should be taking more punches to the head. I'd prefer, at least at the chance, he gets out grappled, but that's fine. He's not going to take, concussive damage. This is boxing. He's been knocked out badly a bunch of times. He's taken an insane amount of damage. His body is toast. His body is toast. When you can, if you ever, overdo the toast, you can, scrape it together and, you get rid of, the what's the stuff? The charcoaly type stuff. When you burn it, when you burnt toast, you can get rid of it. You get 2 pieces of burnt toast. You scrape them together. You can get rid. You did that to Tony. It would collapse. It would just break straight away. When you're doing that with the toast. I'm not going full Tito Ortiz here when I'm trying to explain this. But I hope you guys get what I mean, right? If you were to try and do that with Tony, he'd literally just break. The toast would evaporate. That is Tony Ferguson's ligaments right now. He's not quick. He's slow. He's getting slower and slower. He's getting older. Every performance is going to be worse than the other. And I think he's going to get chinned here. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think Tony will turn back the clock here? And who knows, maybe Tony goes on a crazy boxing run here like Darren Till is. Darren Till's fighting Luke Rockhold. I think Darren Till's going to knock Rockhold out. To be honest with you guys. But I think that fight can actually be close because Luke Rockhold actually didn't look too bad against Mike Perry. I know Mike Perry's not a great boxer and it wasn't BKFC, but Luke Rockhold's not that bad. People act like Luke Rockhold's immediately he's going to get chinned, but I think Rockhold's chin issues are a bit, exaggerated. I think he's just got horrible defense and he can get caught with that left shot. He doesn't know how to defend left hooks, doesn't know how to defend anything from the left. But Tony, man, Tony's just, this is a shame. Turning around, you're changing your career at 41 as well to go to boxing. I guess the guy who's got a lot more boxing experience has KO power. This is criminal matchmaking, borderline criminal matchmaking. I just hope Tony, I'd prefer he gets to a decision and maybe Tony has a really good 6th round. That would be nice, but unfortunately, this isn't a fairy tale, and I think this is going to be really ugly. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you subscribe, put on notifications. Shout out to the Mixed Martial Artists, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.